So we're going to look at equations of tangents, and we're going to learn a new definition, an equation of a normal line. Now, no matter what graph you have, x cubed, x to the 4, x squared, when you take the derivative at a certain point, you are looking at a tangent line that touches that graph at that point, and you're talking about the slope of the tangent line at that point. So if we have a function, let's say our original function is x squared, you know that there's a point where x is 3. What is that point? 3 comma? Yes, 3 comma 9. Thank you. How did you figure that out? All you had to do was plug 3 into the original equation, and 3 squared is 9. Awesome. So we have that point, and there is a tangent line that touches that graph at that point perfectly. What is the slope of that tangent line? This is mental math. Whoa, I shouldn't have told you. If you had to guess, what might you guess? 6. Good guess. How did you get that, Ben? I looked at you, write it on the board by accident, and just repeated. Excellent. That is a good strategy when a teacher does that. Okay. Well, remember that our derivative is an equation for all of the slopes. Is this an easy derivative to find? Yes. It's an easy derivative. It tells us that all of our derivatives put together make this line. What are we looking for with the red line? We're looking for the specific one when x is equal to 3. What happens when I plug in 3 here? 2 times 3 is 6. If I picked another point, -2 comma 4, there's going to be a tangent going through that one. The slope of this tangent line will be what? -4. Because now, again, we have our equation for every single slope. That's what our derivative is. It's an equation for every single slope at every single x value. At x equals -2, that slope's going to be -4. Way up here, we're going to have another point. We're going to have like 6 comma 36. And there's going to be a tangent line. What's the slope of that tangent line going to be? 12. Are you starting to see the pattern? Starting to see the idea? Our derivative is an equation for every single slope of every single tangent line. Okay? So if we have an equation and we can easily get the derivative from our power rules, now we can easily find the slope of any tangent line we want. And if we can find the slope of any tangent line that we want, we're going to be able to write an equation of that tangent line. Because we'll have the slope. What do you need to find the equation of a line from grade 10? You need the slope, and you need at least 1 point. If you have 1 point and the slope, you can find y equals mx plus b. Because you have m, you can plug in the point, and you can find b. Okay? Or if you'd rather, you can use the point slope formula. I think you guys remember y equals mx plus b more than the point slope formula. It might be a little bit easier, but you can use either one. What's a normal line? For those of you in physics, you might know some things about normal lines. All a normal line is the line that is perpendicular to your tangent line. Okay? So here is my red tangent line. Here is my purple normal line. Here is my tangent line. There would be my purple normal line. Here's my tangent line. Again, 90 degrees in between those. Here is my purple normal line. What are the slopes of all of these purple lines? This one. No, looks like 0, but it's got a little bit of slope. If my tangent line is 12, it's going to be close to 1 over 12. Just be less positive. Negative 1 over 12, yes. Right? Normals aren't as exciting as, well, they're not, they won't always be negative, as in, but this one, negative 1 over 6. This one will be positive 1 over 4, because our slope was negative to begin with, right? For those that you have taken English math in the past, what did we call this? Our slope is the right? Perpendicular lines have slopes that are, I'll give you the first word, is negative, because if one is positive, your new slope is negative. So we say they were negative. There it is. Yes, you can interpret my mumbo. Negative reciprocals. Okay? And it's confusing in French because when you flip a fraction, but in English we say reciprocal. So there we have a wonderful translation thing. Okay. So in order to find the equation of a line, you're going to need a point and a slope. You'll have the point because they'll tell you where at x equals 3. You can just plug that into your equation. I know that was complicated for a while to get 3, 9. But now that you see it, you go, yeah, I learned that somewhere along the way. And then once you have the point, then you can use your derivative to find your slope. And once you have your point and your slope, then you go back to grade 10 and either plug into the point slope form or y equals mx plus b to find it. So here we go. We've got a parabola, 2x squared plus 3. And we want to find the equation of the tangent line at 1. So graphically, this is an easy one to graph because it's a parabola that's been shifted up 3. We know that our vertex is at 0, 3. Since the a value is 2, you can go over 1, up 2, so you know you also have the point 1, 5. Okay? As far as graphing it, so I had used the strategy of going over 1, up 2 because my a value was 2 to graph it. But you could also find the point 1, 5 by just plugging in 1. What happens when I plug in 1? I get 1, 5. Now we want to find the equation of this tangent line. Ooh, this is going to be a moment of truth to see the accuracy of my tangent line if I've drawn it well, because it looks like my y-intercept is at 1. We're going to see how far off that is. Here we go. So, what do I need in order to find an equation of a line? I'm going to need a point and a slope. Do I have the point already? Yes, 1, 5. What do I need to find? I need to find the slope of this line. Well, our tangent is our derivative. How hard is it to find the derivative of this one? dy dx? It's just going to be 4x. At x equals 1, dy dx equals 4. So what does that tell us? That tells us at x equals 1, the slope of our tangent line is 4. It's going to be exciting. Okay, so now we want to find the actual equation in y equals mx plus b form. What do we know already? Change back to green. We know that our slope is 4. the only thing we need to find is our b value. But we also know this point, 1, 5 is on our line. That means when y is 5, x has to be 1. If we do that, the only thing we have to solve for, moment of excitement, is b. And what does b have to be? 1. Okay, what you guys just experienced here, okay, is really, really rare, where I draw a graph without thinking, and it's actually accurate. Okay? I drew the graph, it was actually accurate on a first try without thinking of it. That, you should go buy lottery tickets, because that's not going to happen very often. Or maybe I should go buy lottery tickets. Wow. So now, we're not done. I know we got overexcited here. We figured out b. We need to write our answer in y equals mx plus b form. Sometimes this happens. You get to the point, I found everything I need to. I'm done, except I haven't written my answer. You have to take the time to write out the answer in y equals mx plus b form. It used to be why I didn't like, I know some of you are more English than math, and some of you are more math than English. It was the thing about writing a research paper that I hated the most. I actually liked doing the research, and I liked learning all the stuff. So once I had done the research and learned all the stuff, I felt like I was done. Thank you for giving me the opportunity to learn that. I appreciate that. I've learned it. But now I don't want to write my answer, because my answer is a 10 to 15 page paper on what I've learned, and I feel like I've learned it. Now, I have also learned that in the process of putting it together, you do learn a little bit more, but I never felt that that little bit more was worth the effort of putting that 15-page paper together. But when you're done, there is a good feeling about writing a paper, having it done, handing it in, okay? It's like most things. When you're finished them, feels good, right? You're going to be, right? When you're done your IB math exam, it should feel good, right? It's going to be painful leading up to that exam, doing all the practice exams. But at the end, you're going to feel like, wow, I've learned a bunch of stuff. And it should feel good. So, here's one for you to try. Now we have a square root equation. You're going to have to find, yeah, because this one's too hard. So yours is square root of x to the 5. Right, this is what yours says, x to the 5, and we only want to find it at x equals 4. Awesome. So this is for you to try. Have your answer by next class. Okay. Also do examples 3, 4, 3 and 4, and then we'll quickly go over them before next class. So to save some time, so try examples 2, 3, and 4.